Hello, my name is Evan Sinisak. I'm recording this video demo for Fanshawe Game Development Advanced Programming Final Game Jam project. Take 12. The game I made is called Dungeon Adventure. It's a dungeon crawling experience stylized after the old DOS Advanced Dungeons and Dragons games. In it, you control the player character as you try to move and make your way through the dungeon to the exit. After the game starts, if you resize the game window, you can press P to also resize the frame buffers to eliminate the weird black square issues that come up with that. So the thematics around this is that there's an advanced civilization that created these dungeons in the world and basically have these little observation rooms overlooking the dungeons as they observe adventurers and try to find the strongest of them to help them with an issue that they're having. So I have some off-screen FBOs following the player and some entities for this. In observation mode, you can use WASD, Q, and E to move the camera around and use the mouse to aim the camera. Pressing space enters first person mode. Pressing space again enters overhead mode. And space again re-enters. Thank you, Adobe Creative Cloud. You just cycle through the three modes. Pressing V turns the stencil on, uses OpenGL stencil or stencil mask to do this. Using the arrow keys, pressing up and down causes the player to move forward and backwards. Left and right causes the player to rotate. Stencil basically draws the entities, upsizes the entities, draws them again using a specific color for the outline, wherever the original model was not. Green for objects, red for enemies, blue for the player, yellow for treasure objects. The next effect is bloom. So if you press N, it turns the bloom on. The way that I do this is because we're using an off-screen FBO to draw the full screen quad that everything is being drawn on. I basically extract the brightest parts of that, blur those bright parts, and then re-add it back to the original scene to create this nice blurred, bleeding light effect. Pressing N again will turn it off. Third is the footprint decal thing. Basically, just above every single floor mesh is a invisible quad that's the same size, and whenever the enemy entities move, they tell that invisible quad, hey, use this texture and you can turn yourself on now. So these quads use discard transparency to get rid of the white parts of the texture, and then they use alpha transparency over 10 seconds to lower the transparency until it reaches 0, and then it turns off again. The Ivysaur enemies are listener enemies. They are aware of everything that is within the graph up to any and all door nodes. And if the player enters one of those nodes, then it enters attacks mode to try and attack the player. And the Daleks are pure wanders. They pick one of the node. They basically look at the edges of their current node, pick one of them, and then rotate and move to that node. Finally, I implemented level of detailing. Basically, in observation mode, any and all entities that are farther than 30 units away are replaced by a low resolution mesh. For most of them, it's just a low resolution sphere, and the Daleks have their own low resolution mesh, which you can see with the stencils on. You can see what the original object should be like versus what is actually being drawn. If I turn the stencils off, it speeds up performance even more. However, in first person and overhead mode, basically anything that is not within 30 units of the player just doesn't get drawn at all. And finally, for this demo, if you press the K button on your keyboard, it enters cheat mode, which just brings the player to the exit of the dungeon. If you press 1, 2, 3, and 4 on your keypad, it will change the speed at which the entities make decisions. Pressing 2 is 2 times speed, 3 is 5 times speed, 4 is 10 times speed, and if you press 1 again, it goes back to 1 times speed. That's going to be it for this little demo. Oh, and once the player reaches the exit, then you have control again. Otherwise, you can't move them. That's going to be it for this demo. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.